I can feel my mind fighting back its loss of control. Let me explain that. This is something it took a while for me to understand, and something I'm still trying to understand. And that is, we're not our thoughts. We're not. We're the space observing our thoughts. I guess a good example would be, you know, when you're going through something, you're like on your knees, like this is just it. This is everything's falling apart, everything. And then I know we've all said it. Deep down, I know everything's going to be okay. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is that deep down place. The more I connect to that place, and the more I figure out the mind's manipulations and its games, the more it tries to manipulate and play games because it doesn't want to lose control. And this isn't something you can conceptualize with your mind. Because that'd be like the mind telling the mind it doesn't exist. Yeah, the mind's not going for that. No way. Death to the mind. What? And the mind really does struggle for control. It really, and I know this for a fact because of my first couple of meditation sessions. The mind was absolutely chaotic. It was screaming, get up, we're not going to do this, this is dumb. And that's some of the reason I sat there, because I could see how, because there were moments I was ready to just jump up. I was like, all right, well, yeah, I'm with you. But I'm glad I had enough foresight in that moment to realize that that was the mind just trying to have control. And I was trying to explain this concept to someone yesterday, and that's the whole thing. It's not a thinking thing. You can't figure it out with your mind. It's a feeling thing. It's a deeper connection to yourself. It's realizing that you aren't your thoughts. I mean, the thoughts are just, they're like the news. You know, our minds are trained to be, I don't want to say attracted because I'm not sure that's the right word, but we're drawn to negative things. And I believe that this is another one of those like caveman inherited things in our biology that we needed in order to survive then. Of course, things of danger or, you know, big change or anything that was negative was highlighted because it was a way to survive. If you weren't paying attention to those things, then you didn't make it. Human survival depended on it, and that's sometimes what your thoughts feel like, is that your survival depends on what you're thinking about. And it doesn't. There's a separation. It's not who you are. You are the space that is observing those thoughts. You know, some people call it the soul, some people call it the spirit. I like to call it consciousness, because I think consciousness is awareness. And that's really all that deeper place is it's just aware of everything that's going on around us. And our mind gets up in the middle of it and tries to conceptualize it and make it something. And then we have a feeling based on the thought. And then the feeling fuels a thought, and then the thought fuels a feeling, and then you just go round and round and round in circles. And really all it was just a thought. You drew a monster, a picture of a monster, and you forgot you drew it, and now you're responding to it. It's like going on a first date. I mean, how many of you, or a job interview, have you been like, I'm gonna, you know, what if they don't like me? Well, I'll show them. Okay, you just created that. And now you're creating the solution to the, and it's still all just a circle of thoughts. They're just thoughts. You don't know how that job interview is going to go. You don't know how that first date's going to go, but I can guarantee you, if you're in here, when you're there, it's going to go exactly the way this said it would. And that's how this becomes so convincing, because all of our thoughts create our reality, and then our thoughts say, see, I knew. And so then you're like, yeah, my mind knows. Your mind created all of that, and you couldn't see it. You couldn't be separate enough from it to not notice that that's all it is, a law of attraction. Your mind said it would happen, so it happened. The same as when you get fixated on something that you think is happening around you, all you can see is things that support it, things that are evidence that it's true, because that's how powerful the mind is. And so I can feel the mind losing a little bit of control, as well as I'm experiencing feelings of loss and sadness, and that's my mind too. That's my mind. My mind's telling me that not living in a space of thoughts is not okay, that it's a loss, that it's sad. I feel like there's a mourning going on, and maybe my mind is mourning. Maybe it is mourning. But when I go and connect to that deep place, I can feel a release there too. But it's one of acceptance and one of allowing, and that's what this space deep down is. It doesn't have any judgment. You can tell the relationship a person has with themselves by the things they say and the ways that they behave. And when you reach this place, this deeper down place where you are just a space of awareness all the time, like I'm talking to you guys right now and I can hear that dog barking. But it's not bothering me today. It's just an awareness. Just an awareness, like I can hear the heater running and I can hear the traffic. Because that deep down place is a place of awareness, a place of quiet. Just like right now, when you can hear me talking, you can still hear the other things going on in the background. You can hear my voice, and maybe you can hear a dog, or the heater, or traffic, or someone's breath, but even behind all of that, even if you were blaring music, even behind all of that, you would still be able to hear silence. That silence is a deep down place, and that's where I'm trying to be. And I can feel the let go, and it's scary, and it's sad, and it's all of these things, but it's just my mind. It's just my mind. And like I've already said, it's really hard to conceptualize this because it's your mind trying to see it, and your mind can't see it because that would be like telling your mind it doesn't exist. It can't do it. This is an experience, and it happens in meditation, and I can feel that I'm going to the next level of being able to not just touch that place, but kind of hang out in that place, stay in the club. Because during meditation, I can really feel my mind trying to have some control. And outside of meditation, I can feel it trying to have some control. And I'm excited and scared all at the same time. And I'm frustrated, and I know these are all of the mind too, because when I go to that deep down place, the place I want to live from all the time, the place there is no judgment, there's just acceptance. It's life flows and it's free, and I'm not sad. I'm accepting. So today, I'm just going to try to stay out of the trap of my mind, because it's really trying to bring me back. Really trying to bring me back. And I know that the more I can separate myself from the mind, the deeper I can go within me. That deeper place within me, like Kyle Cease calls it the canvas. You know, and that's the place where all your pictures of your life and everything are painted, and but it's separate. It's separate. And something that actually I've been trying to conceptualize this for several months now, and I actually watched a movie probably a month or two ago now, and it was a real big aha moment for me at the end. The movie was super cute, and I really enjoyed it. It's called Champy, just like Champ, and then IE, and it's about a robot, and they download consciousness in him, and, you know, it just, I don't know, it was just a real aha moment at the end, like, oh, right, it is separate. I am separate. I am the place that is witnessing everything that's going on around me. I'm the space that is observing everything. And so to become attached or defined by anything I'm observing is useless. It's because it's not who I am. So if anybody else is experiencing this right now, you're not alone. You're not alone. And it's a very kind of confusing internal struggle that goes on. And the mind is very, very convincing. And so it's really easy to get sucked back into it, or just be in that space of not knowing and being uncomfortable so long that it becomes a, fuck it, I'm just going to start doing things the way I used to do them. At least I knew how to do it there. And even though sometimes it's uncomfortable there, at least I knew how to navigate that. And I could find this, and I could, that's still all the mind. Who's talking? Because I can guarantee if you connect to your heart in that moment, your heart will not say that to you. Your heart will never tell you to give up, to not believe in yourself, to not think you deserve more, to not think you can be more, to not think that you can feel better as a general rule day in and day out, or at least be in just a place of acceptance, which is a beautiful place to be too. I think acceptance is better than happiness, in my experience. Anyway, if you're in that place with me, don't give up. If you want to reach out and get a little extra support or understanding or anything like that, reach out to me. I'm here, guys. Let's muddle through this together. And I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. Thanks for coming.